Hi folks, this is Ben Manning. I am the lead data scientist at HASHMAP, and I thought this would be a good time for us to start a small video series on how to use R and R Studio for data science. We use R and R Studio as well as a host of other tools in our daily work in data science here at HASHMAP. And I wanted to share a little bit about what we do and sort of how we do that in this introductory series. So we'll be using R and R Studio for the entire series of videos, and it should be about 10 of these when we get finished. If you're not familiar with either one of those, R is a statistical programming language. You can go here to r-project.org and download R to your machine. Works fine on Windows or Mac or Linux. Just pick your favorite repository and grab a copy of it. After you have that installed on your machine, you can go over here, grab RStudio. RStudio is an integrated development environment, floats on top of the R programming language, and produces this really nice user interface for you to interact with R and all of your data science projects. As always, if you want to visit our blog, you can find it at hashmapinc.com/blog. We do a lot of publications here. Almost weekly now from a lot of our consultants across the globe here. And we're growing our YouTube channel slowly but surely. If you want to look us up on YouTube, just search for HashMap Inc. and smash the subscribe button. We'd love to keep you updated on all the cool stuff that we're working on. So I have just a quick version of RStudio started here. And I actually started my own RStudio project. It's very, very important as a beginner that you do this. Don't ever just start RStudio up and just dive right into working in your tasks, because you won't have very many housekeeping things that go along with RStudio. Some of the really good sort of features of RStudio is it has a lot of version control in it. It actually has a lot of direct path control in it. So your working directory will always be in the right spot when you are saving your files and so to speak, backing your work up. So, I've got all that done. I've actually dropped just a simple copy of the IRIS data set. That's sort of the famous IRIS data set that everybody starts their data science journey working with. And I've got that here in its own data folder. I'm going to go ahead and bring that in just using the import feature of the reader package right here inside of RStudio. A lot of different ways you can bring data into RStudio, by the way. Once you have it into your working folder, you can just click on it and go to import data set. You can go up here and go to import data set. A bunch of different file types that you can use here, including SAS and Strata and SPSS and all that cool stuff. You can actually even just type it directly into the console window here too, if you have the absolute path of your data. So I'm just going to go here to import my data set. This is a really nice new feature, somewhat newest feature of RStudio, where you have this reader package that's actually showing you sort of a real-time preview of what your data is going to be imported as. You can see these, for those of you who don't know what IRIS data set is, this is basically a description of 3 different types, physical descriptions of 3 different types of iris species of flowers. And their sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width are all numeric values. And then here on the end, this will eventually be nominal data or categorical data that we're going to use to build a simple classification model from. You can see right now, though, RStudio, or R in general, is trying to actually decide the data types that these should actually be. And it's fine to leave your numeric data set up as doubles. But you can see here at the very end, R believes that this is a character data type. And eventually, I mean, it is a character data type right now because it's just a string of characters. But we're going to eventually want to change this over to something a little bit more data science friendly, if you will, since we're going to be doing some machine learning here. Down here on the bottom left, we have the actual default name of the data set. We can make this whatever we want. We don't want to do any type of skips as far as rows are concerned, because we already have header names in the column, and you can see that's first row is names. We've got some default settings here. Since this is a CSV file, we're working with the comma separated delimiters. how do you want to handle missing values, RNAs? Do you want to use that as a default? Do you want R to actually substitute NA, null, 0, or empty? We'll leave that alone. And this really nice feature of most of the packages that have visual interfaces with them in R is this is exactly what this would look like if you were to type this into the console window to actually bring your data in. You can see if I change this over to something like iris bin, it actually changes this over to iris bin here, which is kind of cool. So put this back in order, and we'll import this right into RStudio. You can see we've got it in our global environment now. We have it in our preview window. We even have it down here in our terminal, and we've got it in our folder window here. Last but not least, to end this video, sort of the first two things that I always do when I'm working with data in a data science project is I want to verify two different things. I want to verify, number one, that this file came in the correct way. And then I want to start diving into sort of the descriptive statistics and make sure that there's no missing data in this particular data. So in order to actually check this file to make sure that it came in the same way, we're going to do something called structure, STR. Most people will mistakenly call this string, but it's actually structure. And we can pass the actual iris data set to that. What this is going to tell us is the actual data types that we just saw in our preview window, that they actually came in the right way. You can see the 4 different numerical columns did come in the right way. Species, which is eventually going to be our nominal column, came as a character, and that's fine for now. We're going to change that in the next video when we actually get into doing some pre-processing. So pretty much everything came in like it was expected to. The last thing that I do, this is all sort of pre-processing, if you will, right? This is part of data ingestion. Is I run a summary, a quick summary on the data frame itself, just to check the descriptive statistics of the data set. I'm not doing this for any type of distribution study or anything like that. I'm more so just want to make sure I don't have any missing data here right up front, because that would be one of the first things I would handle during my pre-processing step that comes next. If I had any missing data here, you see right here under max on each one of these, and even here at the bottom under mode, there would actually be another row that's labeled as other, and it would give you the count of observations that are actually missing data. So that's the first part. We've got to get data into RStudio. We're going to start studying this data. It won't be a tremendous study because it's a small data set, but we'll start moving into pre-processing and exploratory data analytics in our next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, smash that subscribe button, and so you can keep up with some of the cool things we've got going on here at HASHMAP. Hope everybody has a great day. Talk to you later.